พื้นฐานของปฏิบัติของเรานะทำให้ใจสงบนะมันทำกับพุทโธลมหายใจเข้าลมหายใจออกอยู่กับพุทโธนะสลับความคิดที่ขึ้นมากับพุทโธและสลับความคิดที่ขึ้นมากับลมหายใจเข้าลมหายใจออกนี่พื้นฐานของปฏิบัติของเรา มีความจำขึ้นมาสลับกับพุทโธก็สลับกับลมหายใจเข้าลมหายใจออกเนี่ยนี่ต้องพยายามหน่อยฮะ พยายามตั้งแต่เช้าที่ตื่นขึ้นมาถึงวันที่นอนหลับนี่อยู่กับพุทโธเวลาพัดกวาดอยู่กับพุทโธลมหายใจเข้าลมหายใจออกเมื่อกินข้าวก็อยู่กับพุทโธลมหายใจเข้าลมหายใจออกนะทุกเวลานะของเราไม่ต้องคิดอะไรมากนะ เมื่อกินข้าวก็ไม่ต้องคิดนะ ก็เหมือนกันนะพัดกวาดเลยล้างชานนะไม่ต้องคุยกันนะไม่สำคัญอะไรทำให้ใจสงบเมื่อไม่มีความคิดขึ้นมาเมื่อไม่มีความจำขึ้นมามันใจมันสงบแล้วมีความสุข และไม่มีอนาคตและไม่มีอดีตเมื่อใจไม่มีความคิดนะไม่มีความจำแค่นี้เองนะมันก็ต้องทำให้ได้ไม่มีอนาคตไม่มีอดีตไม่มีความห่วงนะมันสบายไปหมดไม่มีความกลัวไม่มีอะไรสบายนี่เป็นที่พักของเราหลังจากนี้เวลาพักไปแล้วก็พิจารณาดูร่างกายเดี๋ยวนั้นมันสติเวลาฝึกสมาธิก็ต้องฝึกสติด้วยรู้ตัวเมื่อยืนแขนออกมารู้กำลังจะยืนแขนออกมาไม่ต้องคิดนะรู้ตัวเมื่อลังชานก็เหมือนกันนะรู้ตัวนะกำลังแขนนะกำลังนี่กำลังขาก็หยิบไปขยับไปนี่แล้วก็ร่างกายขยับไปก่อนขยับแขนก็ขยับขานะก็รู้ตัวกำลังจะขยับนะก็กำลังจะยืนกำลังจะเดินนะเลยรู้ผลรู้สาเหตุที่ของเราต้องขยับนะเข้าใจไหมสตินั้นมันสำคัญนะมันรู้ตัวนะมันไม่รู้ตัวนะมันจะเหมือนคนตาบอดนะไม่เห็นอะไรสติก็เป็นตาของเรานะมันจะเห็นหมดนะเห็นกำลังเกิดอะไรขึ้นในใจกำลังขึ้นในใจกำลังอยากคิดนะแต่ยังไม่ความคิดยังไม่ออกมานะสติก็รู้กำลังคิดอยู่นะกำลังอยากคิดอยู่นะนี่มันก็เป็นสตินะและของเราต้องฝึกนะต้องฝึกนะตลอดต้องพยายามนะเมื่อไม่มีสติก็พิจารณาหลังกายก็ไม่ได้นะเพราะว่ามันจับอะไรไม่ได้มันมองอะไรไม่ได้เห็นนี่เมื่อไม่มีสตินะฝึกสติก็รู้ตัวเวลาอาบน้ำก็รู้ตัวนะมีความรู้สึกนะเวลาจับสบู่มันความรู้สึกแบบไหนเมื่อสบู่ก็อยู่กับแขนอยู่กับขาแล้วมันความรู้สึกเป็นยังไงรู้ตัวนะเมื่อกินข้าวก็รู้ตัวนะมันลิ้นจะมีรสชาติอะไรนี่ทั้งหมดนะเมื่อแขนขึ้นมารู้ตัวมันมีความรู้สึกอะไรเวลาแขนนะและก่อนขยับนะมันก็ต้องรู้นะกำลังขยับนะเหตุอะไรมีเหตุอะไรที่ต้องขยับนะอยากเดินก็เบื่อก็อะไรก็กลัวก็อะไรนี่นะต้องรู้ตัวนี่เป็นสตินะที่สำคัญนะเป็นตาของเราเมื่อไม่มีตานั้นก็ตาบอดมันชนนี่ชนโน้นนะมีทุกนี่ไม่ทุกโน้นนะคนที่มีสติก็ไม่มีทุกนะแต่ช่วงไหนที่ไม่มีสติที่คิดเรื่องนี้คิดเรื่องโน้นคิดกลางวันกลางคืนนะกลางคืนก็เวลานอนหลับก็ฝันนั่นมันเป็นความคิดเหมือนกันความคิดและความจำนะที่ผสมกันนี่ต้องเข้าใจอันนี้ มันก็ฝึกพยายามนะปวดนะเนี่ยคนไม่ชีชื่ออะไรไม่ชีที่มาใหม่ไม่ชีใหม่นะเนี่ยก็ต้องฝึกแบบนี้นะมันปวดเป็นชีเพื่ออะไรเพื่อหาทางออกต้องฝึกสมาธิก่อนเวลาฝึกสมาธิก็ต้องเรียนสติด้วยนะเวลาเรียนสติแล้วฝึกสมาธิแล้วมีที่พักที่อาศัยมันเข้าสู่สมาธิก็เป็นที่พักที่อาศัยของเราที่มีกำลังเวลาออกมาจากสมาธิก็มีกำลังและพิจารณาร่างกายนะร่างกายก็ไม่ใช่เราเหมือนรถยนต์เวลาขับรถยนต์ก็ไม่ใช่เรารถยนต์ก็เป็นรถยนต์คนขับก็เป็นคนขับนะจิตก็เป็นจิตนะร่างกายก็เป็นร่างกายมันต่างกันนะของเราไม่ใช่ร่างกายของเราไม่ใช่เวทนาของเราไม่ใช่ความคิดนะใช่อนัตตานะของเราไม่ใช่ความจำนะที่ขึ้นมาเข้าใจไหมพยายามหน่อยไม่ใช่ไม่ด้วยนะเนี่ยมันอยู่ที่บ้านนะมันไม่เคยภาวนาเดี๋ยวนี้ให้เล่นภาวนาหน่อยนี่ทำให้ใจสงบมันจะเห็นคุณค่าของภาวนาเมื่ออยู่ในเข้าสู่สมาธินะที่พักอาศัยของเรานะมันจะเห็นคุณค่าของภาวนาต้องเห็นคุณค่าของภาวนาอันอื่นก็มันตัดจากโลกไม่ได้พระพุทธเจ้าสอนนั่นเนี่ยสอนเรื่องฌานก็สมาธิก็เหมือนกันนะคนไหนที่ไม่รู้จักฌานคนไหนที่ไม่รู้จักสมาธินะก็มันโลกมัน มันฉับเราตลอดเวลาแต่คนไหนที่รู้จักสมาธิคนไหนที่รู้จักฌานนะโอ้ยเห็นนะมันมีอะไรที่ยิ่งกว่านะดีกว่าโลกนี่สงบกว่าโลกนะสุขกว่าโลกนะที่โลกก็ที่เห็นในโลกนี่นะของเราคิดว่ากินนี่ก็เคยเรื่องนี่ก็จับโทรศัพท์นั่นเล่นนั่นนี่แล้วมันไม่ใช่นะนี่เป็นความเบื่อหน่ายนะนี่ของเรามันที่เกียจขี้ค้านนะเวลาเมื่อมีทุกข์นะเมื่อความเบื่อขึ้นมาจับอันนี้คุยกันเรื่องนี้คิดเรื่องนู้นนะแล้วเล่นกับโทรศัพท์โอเคเข้าใจนะโอเคแค่นี้ก็พอแล้วนะพยายามนะยมไม่จิใหม่นะดีอยู่กับบ้านกับแม่นะแล้วไม่มีพี่น้องเหรอที่ดูแลแม่ได้นะและแม่ก็ดูแลแม่ชีนะอยู่แม่ชีนะมันแม่ก็สบายกว่านะเมื่อแม่ชีอยู่ที่วัดนะแม่ก็
ไปอยู่วัดนั้นก็ได้สัตว์ตัวน้อยมาให้แม่เลี้ยงตอนนี้แม่
อย่ามันขออ่างนะนี่ทำไมมักกลัวอยู่ที่วัดเหรอ
อย่างอยู่ที่วัดเจ้าค่ะแต่ว่าภาระที่บ้านต้องช่วยแม่ดูแลบ้านให้ญาติเจ้าค่ะแล้วก็ดูแลหลายอย่าง
มันมีญาติเหรอ
ญาติไม่อยู่เจ้าค่ะ
ญาติอยู่ที่ไหน
ไปทำงานเจ้าค่ะ
ไปทำงาน
ก็เลยว่าอีกสัก 2-3 ปีญาติก็จะกลับมาก็อดทนอยู่ดูแลช่วยแม่ไปก่อน
อันก็ต้องภาวนาทุกวันอย่างน้อยก็3 ชั่วโมงตอนเช้าตอนบ่ายตอนเย็น
ก็อยู่บ้านก็เครียดเจ้าค่ะก็
เลยใช่ไม่เครียดมันแก้ความเครียดยังไงมันเข้าสู่สมาธิไม่เครียดมันเครียดเรื่องอยากได้นี่อยากได้โน่นก็ไม่ชอบอันนี้ไม่ชอบอันโน่นนี่ทำให้เราเครียดเข้าใจไหม
ก็มีแค่วิธีมีแค่คนเดียวก็เลยมองไปที่ไหนก็ไม่มีหมู่คณะก็เลยขอมาหาเพื่อนก่อนเจ้าค่ะก่อนจะเข้าพรรษาแม่บอกว่าให้ไปก่อนแล้วกลับมา
มันก็ เพื่อนที่อยู่ที่วัดนะก็ของเราก็รู้นะแต่นั้นมันต้องรู้จักนะความเครียดมาจากที่ไม่ชอบอันนี้ไม่ชอบอันโน้นมั้ยฮะ โดยพบอันนี้ที่ไม่ชอบนะพบอันโน้นที่ไม่ชอบฮะแล้วต้องทำอันนี้ก็ที่ไม่ชอบนะมันเกี่ยวกับนี่ฮะเกี่ยวกับอริยสัจที่สองฮะราทัณหาฮะและบางทีก็ราคะทัณหานะอันนี้เกี่ยวอันนี้ฮะทำให้ฝนฮะเครียดแต่เนี่ยมันแก้ได้ไงฮะ
ก็ว่ามาหาเพื่อนก่อนแล้วก็จะกลับไปก็จะไปอดทนเอาใช่ป่ะเพราะว่า
ไม่ใช่อดทนมันอดทนมันไม่ใช่ภาวนาต้องแก้สาเหตุไม่พุทธทำให้ใจสงบแต่เวลาเรื่องนี้ก็ต้องแก้สาเหตุนะเพราะว่าอยู่กับทิฏฐิมานะของเราสาเหตุนะมันไม่ชอบนะมันเกี่ยวกับทิฏฐิมานะของเราเข้าใจไหมนะความคิดของเราความจำของเรานี่ต้องเป็นอย่างนี้นี่ต้องเป็นอย่างโน้นนะเมื่อไม่เป็นอย่างนี้ก็เครียดความเครียดขึ้นมาใช่ไหมฝนเหรอนะเนี่ยนี่มันแก้ได้นะแต่ต้องเข้าสู่สมาธิก่อนแล้วเลยพิจารณาดูแล้วทำไมมันเครียดขึ้นมานะอะไรก็มาก่อนนะเข้าใจนะโอเคพยายามทำนะช่วงแรกก็ทำให้ใจสงบนะต้องมีที่พักที่อาศัยก่อน
อยู่ที่บ้านวุ่นวายมากเลยค่ะเพราะว่า
ก็รู้นะ
ผ่านหน้าบ้านเป็นถนนนะจะถามมันก็เลย
เป็นถนนใหญ่อยู่ที่ไหนที่อุดรหรือที่ขอนแก่น
ที่อำเภอเอราวัณจะกลับเป็นในหมู่บ้านแต่
อ๋อเอราวัณอ๋อ
เป็นในหมู่บ้านแต่ว่าก็หน้าบ้านจะเป็นถนนเป็นซอยก็มีรถผ่าน
เนี่ยมีการฝึกทุกอย่างที่ไม่ได้ยินรสด้วยนะแต่เมื่อเครียดเสียงรสนะมันจะช่วยไม่ได้ภาวนาที่กลางคืนก็ได้นะมันมีรสนะผ่านไปกลางคืนก็เหนื่อยอยากนอน
ก็ดีแต่ก็เงียบอยู่แต่ว่าเวลากลางวันนี่มัน
ก็เวลากลางวันก็ทำงานนี่ทำงานโน่นแต่ที่เมื่อกี้ก็พูดนะเมื่อทำงานนี่ทำงานอยู่กับพุทโธว่าเราไม่ใช่เขาเราไม่ใช่ออกอย่าคิดนะนี่เมื่อคิดขึ้นมานะว่าความจำขึ้นมานะมันความเครียดขึ้นมาด้วยนะเมื่ออยู่กับพุทโธความเครียดไม่ขึ้นมานะเข้าใจไหม
แต่วันนี้ก็กำลังจะดีด้วยค่ะดีขึ้นด้วยค่ะเพราะว่าได้ทิ้งที่บ้านมาอยู่ที่วัด
โอเคนะใจเวลาเป็นประโยชน์นะโอเคแค่นี้ก็สำหรับคนไทยนะCarlos is waiting for the rain, huh?
For?
Are you waiting for the rain to come?
Not really, just in case.
No, that's what I mean, yeah? Waiting for the rain to come, yeah? Just in case. That's why people have an insurance, just in case.
Yeah.
There are also questions on what? So let's go back to the basics, you know. I mean, we tend to forget the basics of our practices. First, you know, we train ourselves to enter samadhi. Yeah? Samadhi is our home. Yeah, that's where we can rest, and that's where we can get energized. Right? So from the morning we wake up, you know, we are with our meditation object, be it the Buddha or be it the breath, you know, that enters or the breath that you know that leaves. Yeah? Until the evening when we go to bed. Yeah? I mean, there's nothing here where we need to do. There's not where we need to think. Yeah, and there's nothing where we need to memorize. Yeah? Whatever we do, I mean, yeah. If it is sweeping, yeah, we just look. Yeah, if we look, but people don't know that. Yeah, if we look, we know what is necessary to do. If we don't look, if we think, I mean, we miss out on so many things. Yeah? And if you just look, yeah, if you just observe, yeah? I mean, I told you so oftentimes how to observe. Yeah? I mean, observe the animals. That is how we observe. We don't think about what the animals are doing. We know what they are doing, and that is the same thing. Yeah, it is difficult to train. Yeah, so. The first thing is, we train ourselves, to get into samadhi, to stop all thoughts, to replace all thoughts with the Buddha or with the attention on our breath. All memories, the same thing. We stop all the memories or replace all the memories with our attention on the breath or on the Buddha. And that we do that from the morning we wake up until the evening, we go to bed. Yeah. And there's no work here in the monastery, even if you wash the dishes or take care of the dishes, where you have to think. So you can use the Buddha all the time. And the less you speak, the better it is. Yeah? The more you speak, the more confused, the more ideas come into the mind, and the more you start to think. Yeah, Carlos? Yeah. Yeah? And that is disturbing. I mean, we practice for 3 hours, and then we just talk for half an hour. We talk for half an hour, and then all the practice of 3 hours is gone. Because afterwards, we try to sit again, and then we need another 2 hours, to get the mind calm. I should have said like this. I should have said like this. This wasn't, and so on and so on. It's constantly going on. Yeah, this conversation, that we had with somebody else, it's constantly going on in our head. I mean, there's no need, I mean, sometimes there's a need to ask, when you ask, where's the broom, where's the ladder, where's this or where's that, of course then you can talk. But, talking about, I had this experience or that experience, I mean, it's completely useless. Yeah? If you don't know what your experience is, I feel sorry for you. Because then you're not there at the level of the heart. Yeah? The heart knows the experience, I mean, you don't need to tell anybody. You don't need to, you don't need to verbalize it, yeah? But you sit in samadhi, you verbalize, oh, this is like this, or this is like that. I mean, what is the point of it? Yeah? Don't you know it? Yeah? We want to get to the knowing nature of the heart, yeah? That knows the thing. Yeah? We can learn it through observing, through observing the animals we know, yeah? I mean, we know when there is a thought coming up. Huh? How can we not know? Yeah? Before the thought comes up, we know that there's an intention to think. Yeah? The same thing, we know before memory comes up, there's an intention to memorize, but the memory has not yet come up yet, or the thought has not come up yet. That is the training of Sati. Yeah? I mean, lots of people do samadhi, it's fine, there's some sort of calm, but they are not really entering samadhi, yeah? I mean, because there is a lack of sati. Yeah? And sati that knows, at every moment, how the breath is or how the Buddha is. Is the Buddha fast? Is the Buddha slow? Is it deep? Is it shallow? Or whatever, yeah? And the same with the breath. Is the breath, slow? Is it the in-breath? Is it the out-breath? Is it the middle? Is it the beginning? Is it the end? Does it turn from in-breath to out-breath or from out-breath to in-breath? That is the knowing that we need to develop, yeah? And we can train that during the day, yeah? When we move, before we move our arm, we know we want to move our arm, how can we not move? Huh? And we know why we move our arm, yeah? Huh? And the same thing is for sweeping. If we know we move our arms, we know we move our leg, so stay with the knowing. Yeah? Stay with the knowing of this. Yeah? When we scratch ourselves, we know that we scratch ourselves. Yeah? And we know why we scratch ourselves, and we know what is the result of scratching. Yeah? That makes us practitioners. This knowingness, because when something itches, if we really paid attention to it, something itches, we scratch, and the pain becomes even more after the scratching, But we don't realize it because we've never investigated, It just, it just gets a bigger area, and that's why we think, it is less, It's the same pain, or it's the same itch, and it doesn't really help, the itch doesn't go away. So this is really the basic of training the sati, When we move our arm, we know we move our arm. When we move our leg, we know we move our leg, When we think, we know that we are thinking. When we speak, then we know we are speaking. And where animals crawl back to then we know that. This is important, And I understand, it is very tedious work, but we have to do this tedious work. We want to know what is going on in our heart, so we have to find the level to our heart. So we have to know before we think that we want to think. And then we can stop it very easily, because if the thought has not arisen, we just can go back to our Buddha or our breath, But if the thought has arisen, then the tendency to have the next thought, is coming, And then the memory comes in, and disturbs us, and the feeling comes, and then disturbs us, So this sati we can train, when we eat, we know we are eating, We know we are putting our arm out, and to grab on the food. We know how it feels like, grabbing the food, you eat with a spoon, we eat with the hands, But and then you put it to your mouth, you know that the arm goes to the mouth, you know that you put the bite into the mouth, you know how it tastes, They're only not good or bad, Or not, this I want more, you taste it and you think, I want more, Or I don't like it and, I don't want to eat anymore, Now, this is not sati, This is the kilesas, dangling us, Dangling us on just like a puppet on a string, They pull the strings, and we just dance around, So get to know yourself, train the sati, When you move your arm, know that you move your arm. When you move your legs, know that you move your legs. And when you take a shower, know how it feels, where are your thoughts, when you take a shower? You don't even know what it means to take a shower. Because you're all over the place, It's the same with sweeping, you're all over the place, It's same, when you come to the sala, and then you see the food, and then all our sati is gone, So learn it, train it, This is really the basic, before we can even start, investigation, we have to develop this knowingness. Sati, or this knowingness, is our eyes, If we don't have sati, we don't have eyes, so we don't see what is going on. That's why it is so important to develop the sati. Not samadhi, some people get into samadhi without really having so much sati, But that is not the right samadhi, And the right samadhi is we have the sati, They just want to get calm, and they think this is samadhi, but that is not samadhi, It's just calmness, There's less thoughts, but our mind still goes around, And we don't know what is going on, Because we go to the feeling, And when we go to the feeling, we don't know anything yet, Okay, understood? So let's get the questions, And on Saturday there is a Zoom session, anyway,
Okay. What is the preparation before we practice in the forest?
Go to the forest. I really don't know what is the preparation. Yeah, I mean, wherever you go, what is the preparation? You take the right clothes, you know, and sorry, but I just don't know how to answer this question. Does anybody of you know how to answer the question? What is the preparation to go to first? Yeah? Be aware, that is the most important thing. Be aware of what is going on. Because in the forest it is more, yeah, there are more things happening, you know, that we don't know than in the city. Okay.
And the same person is, nowadays I always try to practice sitting meditation with Anapanasati. I can sit for 1.5 hours in one sit, and I always try to use my sati in daily life as a neurologist. I already practiced this for 2 months. Do you have any suggestions for me to develop my Dhamma practice, and also do you have a retreat program for us?
I mean, the best thing, we don't have a retreat program, you know, we practice here, you know, we get the instruction what to do, and then we practice on our own, you know, and self-discipline, and people, you know, who don't have enough self-discipline, they have to go to retreats, eh? People who have enough self-discipline, yeah, and want to foster their self-discipline, then they come to a monastery like this, just like university, you know. At the university level, you have to have self-discipline, yeah? Nobody forces you to attend a course, you know. But in the end, you know, I mean, they will take a test, yeah. So you have to get your things done, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, what I said in the beginning, that is the thing that he can practice, yeah. I mean, also if he is a neurologist, you know, I mean, know what is going on, know why he's thinking, know why he's doing these things that he does, yeah. And see, and especially look at the results of it, yeah. And he also can do the daily reflection that I talk very often about it, yeah. In the evening, just let the day pass by, yeah, and see what is going, what he's doing, what gives good results and what gives not good results. Yeah. Next.
In breath meditation, do we need to try to be aware of different aspects of the breath? For example, if it's an in-breath or out-breath, a long breath or a short one, deep
of course.
or shallow? Or can we just keep the sustained focus on the breath itself?
I mean, what is the focus on the breath if you don't know? I mean, I just explained it, you know, in the talk before, yeah. So they should listen to this talk today, you know. It is very important that we know the in-breath is beginning, the in-breath is its height, and the in-breath is going, you know, slowly coming to an end, and it changes into the out-breath, yeah. And then the out-breath, you know, that is so important, yeah. Otherwise, we will never get in samadhi, yeah. Because then, you know, I mean, if you just stay with the breath becomes boring, and we just drift off to other things.
Same person. If I never want to fall into hell in any future lives, is stream entry my only option?
Yes. Simple. And then the stream entry also has another advantage. You know, it gives you at most 7 more lives. Yeah, and some of the lives are in heaven, and some of the lives, you know, are as human beings. Yeah. But you don't go into any of the lower realms, yeah. Not only hell, but the lower realms, yeah. Animal realms, ghost realms, demon realms, yeah. There's all, yeah. It's all gone, yeah. But, you know, to reach Sotapanna is not easy, yeah. You know, some people, you know, try for 30, 40 years, and yeah. I mean, not all the monks, you know, here, you know, who practice for 40, 50 years, you know, are Sotapanna, yeah.
Okay. I don't get the idea that I will get 1,000 times whatever action I do to a human being. If we continue to make karma life after life, how can we receive that much karma? Do we receive it in hell or in heaven, or we have a billion of karma that is stock up and we could receive it all?
No, we do receive it. Some things. I mean, I explained about karma. Yeah. Something, think about it, you go on a trip. Yeah? You go on a trip, you have a house. Yeah? You go on a trip, you buy this, you buy that, you come back and you put it in your house. Yeah? Sometimes you use it, but most of it is just stored. Yeah? If you go on to the next trip, you take this with you, because each trip is different. Yeah? Karma is the same thing. Yeah? I mean, in this life we make certain karma, but in the next life, some of the karma, we take, whenever we go into a new life. Yeah? I'm not talking about human life. Yeah? In the human life, that's where we do most of the karma. Yeah? In the animal realm, yes, we do a lot of karma as well. That's why it is so difficult to get out of the animal realm. But in the ghost realms, in the demon realms, you also do a lot of bad karma. Yeah? But in the hell realm, I mean, you burn up your karma. Yeah? Or in the heaven, you burn up your good karma. Yeah? You can do a little bit of, good or bad karma in the heaven, and you can do a little bit of bad karma in the hell. Depends on or good karma in the hell. It depends on what level you are. Yeah. But that is mostly, if you're born as a ghost, you burn up some karma. Yeah. If you're born in the lower realms, you burn up some karma. Yeah. Even if you're born in the animal, you burn up a lot of karma. Yeah. But also, there's a possibility to create karma, yeah? But, the most frightening place, for us to be, and at the same time, the most hopeful place for us to be is in the human form. Because there we can find the way out, yeah? Out of all this, yeah? And, once we find the way out, once we are completely enlightened, once we are an arahant, yeah? I mean, as long as we still have a human body, the karma comes back to us, and it comes back much faster. Anybody who practices the karma, anybody who practice seriously, to get the way out, the karma of his previous lives comes back much faster than if he doesn't practice. So, yeah. But then, when the arahant, dies, goes in paranibbana, then his karma is, what do you say? You're blown up, yeah? Disappears, just like dust.
Okay. When I listen to a Dhamma talk while meditating, should I keep the meditative word going? This is what I'm doing now, and my reason for this is it keeps me more concentrated, and I don't want to give materials for mental effluence, even though seemingly logical and wholesome ideas seem to come out of them.
What was the last sentence?
The last sentence is that it keeps him more concentrated when he keeps it going, and he doesn't want to give material for mental effluent, like for thinking. Yeah.
Actually, the best way, when you listen to a Dhamma talk, when the Dhamma talk comes from the heart, then just listen to the sound of each word that you hear. Yeah? Don't think about it, just listen to it. Yeah? And listen, and then you go with your concentration, not to the Buddha or to the mind, you go to the heart, where the sound, is received, yeah? Or where the intention of the words are received. Yeah? If you can't do it, then of course the Buddha is the best. Yeah? It's still good, But, I mean, listening to the heart, yeah? Where the Dhamma is arriving, yeah? I mean, that is the best way, because when we listen to the heart, when somebody speaks Dhamma and we listen to the heart, even though we don't understand it intellectually, the heart understands it in its own terms, yeah? And when it is time, when the time is ripe, this kind of Dhamma comes up, and helps us on our path. Yeah? I mean, it is really amazing. Yeah? I mean, even when I listened to Lungda Mahabodh, sometimes, I was completely beyond my grasp, yeah? But, I mean, 5 years later, I came to the point where I understood what he was talking about, and the Dhamma came up. Because I listened with my heart. I didn't think about it, yeah? That is the best way how to listen to the Dhamma.
Ich frage mich seit langem, wo das Karma-Gesetz herkommt. Es scheint mir ein moralisches Naturgesetz zu sein, aber ich kann mir nicht vorstellen, dass es nicht von einer moralischen Schöpfung herkommen kann. Gibt das Dhamma dazu eine Antwort? Was denkt ihr zu meiner Überlegung?
Was kam zuerst? Das Huhn oder das Ei? Es ist eine Frage, die du nicht beantworten kannst. Ja? Und je mehr du darüber nachdenkst, ne, woher kommt das Karma? Akzeptiere, dass das Karma da ist und folge dem Karma, weil jeder erhabene Buddha sieht das Karma, sieht die Resultate von Karma und erklärt das Karma. Ne? Und das sind die Spielregeln. Ne? Wie jeder, der ein Computerspiel spielt, der muss sich automatisch an die Spielregeln halten, ansonsten ist das Spiel over, Game over. Ja? Wenn jemand sich hier an die Spielregeln, und die Spielregeln ist das Karma, ne? Über die Zeit wurden die Spielregeln gemacht, ne? Und damit muss er sich zufrieden geben. Das ist so wie die Leute, wieso bin ich jetzt als Mensch geboren oder wieso bin ich im Himmel oder wieso bin ich in der Hölle? Diese Frage ist vollkommen nutzlos. Das ist dasselbe, ne? Wenn jemand so in der Scheiße steckt, so ganz tief in der Scheiße steckt und ab und zu mal den Kopf raushebt, ne? Und dann sieht er jemand, ne, der festen Boden unter den Füßen hat, da rumlaufen und die erste Frage, die er hat, wie bin ich in die Scheiße gekommen? Und diese Frage ist doch, wie komme ich da raus? Ne? Und wenn ich rauskommen will, dann muss ich einfach die Gesetze von Karma akzeptieren. Das ist einfach, nicht zu fragen, wie das entstanden ist. Dann soll er sich fragen, als er 5 Jahre oder 6 Jahre alt war, wenn er auf der Straße Ball gespielt hat, wie sind die Gesetze vom Ballspiel zustande gekommen? Ja? Wir haben die Spiele kreiert, ne? Und wir haben die Regeln kreiert. Ne? Und dann haben sich alle daran gehalten. Ne? So. Es ist vollkommen irrelevant und es macht uns nur, ne? Es verleitet uns nur zum Denken. Ne? Haltet die Tugendregeln ein, die 5 Tugendregeln, wenn ihr im Kloster seid, die 8 Tugendregeln und damit ist es fertig. Und dann trainiert euren Geist darauf, dass er zur Ruhe kommt. Das ist es wichtig. Selbst der erhabene Buddha konnte nicht den Anfang der ganzen Weltsysteme sehen. Er hat gesagt, wir sollen nicht darüber nachdenken, das macht uns nur verrückt. Okay, nächstes.
For lay Buddhists, is the first jhana stage enough to enter the stream, or do we have to meditate until the 4th jhana? Because as lay Buddhists, we don't have so much time and energy to meditate until the 4th.
Even if you enter the 8th jhana, there's no way that you can enter the stream. I mean, the jhanas are just a resting place. I mean, just like I explained today with the samadhi. It is our home where we can rest and where we can energize, and then we have to do the work, in order to cut the fetters, the first 3 fetters, to enter the stream. I mean, the jhanas have nothing to do with stream entry. I mean, the first jhana is 4th jhana, of course the 4th jhana is good, it gives us a lot of energy. But even then, the 8th jhana is much better, I mean, you're focused like a laser, that cuts through 3 or 4 kilometers of, thick earth, yeah? The 4th jhana, not so much, yeah? But it has nothing to do, yeah? I mean, if you use then the energy, when you come out of the jhana, to investigate the body, yeah? To investigate the first 3 fetters, yeah? And the first fetter is the fetter of doubt, the second fetter is the fetter of not keeping the sila, yeah? Keeping the sila, not keeping the sila, or keeping the precept, not keeping the precept, and the third, I mean, I always switch it around because it is the most important, to think that we are the body. That the body and the chitta are one and the same thing. No. That the body is the body, the chitta is the chitta, just like the car is the car and the driver is the driver. And the car and the driver have nothing in common except that the driver uses the car. So where's the problem? Yeah? When the car dies, we go out and buy a new car. Yeah? So when the body dies, we go out and buy a new body. But if we don't have enough money, we go to hell first. Yeah?
What should I do if I have doubt about Nibbana, that whether it's really the end of all suffering or not? I think I should practice more, but this doubt again weakens my practice and resolution.
It's the first fetter. Doubt there is nibbana, doubt that there is heaven, doubt that there is hell, doubt that there are beings in heaven and beings in hell, and doubt that there is karma, doubt that there is result of karma. I mean, he has to get rid of the doubt. Yeah. I mean, if he doesn't know, I mean, of course, nibbana is is the final stage. Yeah. I mean, why do you think, all these arahants here, in Thailand, went to Nibbana and said it is the absolute end of everything, yeah? And when you met an arahant, yeah? I mean, you've seen him, yeah? He can be there and he can not be there. Even though his physical body is still there, he is not there, yeah? So, yeah, I mean, doubt, is for the most of the Western people is the biggest, that they don't even start to practice, yeah? Or practice a little bit and then think, well, what is the purpose of all this, yeah? Why should I do it? Why should I put myself so fine? Yeah? I mean, inject myself with some heroin, then I feel fine, yeah? Yeah?
What's the reason so many Germans become Buddhists? What's the connection?
I have no idea. You have to ask the Germans, yeah? No? It's the Germans and the British, actually. I mean, I mean, the first German who went, and came back, was, I think, what was it, Schopenhauer, yeah? He came back, and then British also, they went to India and also, had a lot of connection with India, and they heard or listened to the Dhamma, or, found the Dhamma, or found the scripts, and then brought it back to England and brought it back to Germany. And that's why, people in Germany or in England, I mean, there's no difference actually, Germany and England, yeah? Because people were interested, in the Dhamma, yeah? And that's why it spread a little bit. But there are not many German bhikkhus. There are more British bhikkhus, there are more British bhikkhus, in Thailand than German bhikkhus. Anyway, so.
Meditation is a great awareness sticker, but what to do with negative intentions arising during meditation? I want to harm grievously people, which is not nice and doesn't make any sense, but is still showing up as a direction. It also shows up in the dreams too, and as an ultimate solution to things I don't like. How to work with it and unbind it.
Accept it. First accept it. I mean, don't buy into it. Don't think it is the truth. Yeah? I mean, think there's a thought, I mean, it's not my thought. There's a thought that comes up, yeah? And then look at it, and if it is an unpleasant thought, yeah? And then look at it and, I mean, no, it is unpleasant, and let it go, yeah? If you think, why is the thought coming up, then you attach yourself to this thought, and this, of course, this thought, will come up over and over again, and then will also come up in dreams, yeah? No, I mean, see, there's a thought, just like there's a cloud, it comes and it goes, yeah? If the same thought comes over and over again, then at the end of our meditation session, then we do a reflection, what came before the thought until we find the stone that causes the avalanche, yeah? And when we find the stone that causes the avalanche, that causes, I mean, this negativity, yeah? And the negativity is not about other people, it's always about oneself, yeah? One is not happy with oneself, one is not happy with one's practice, and that's why negative thoughts are coming in. One is not happy with one's progress, there's no progress in meditation. Yeah? Lots of people think, I'm progress. No, there's no progress. Yeah? I mean, when you start meditation, you do Buddha, when you're shortly before the enlightenment, you're still doing Buddha. Where's the progress? You're doing Buddha better.
I heard from one of your talks that when you meditated as a layperson around 3 to 6 hours a day, you experienced some negative mental states.
Yeah.
What caused these negative mind states to arise, and for how long did they last?
I mean, it depends on, in the beginning they lasted long until I got, but what causes them, of course, is your karma. If you think negatively, I mean, this is the karma, karma of thoughts, comes back as thoughts, yeah? I mean, all our life, I mean, we saw a person that we didn't like because we thought negatively about him, yeah? And even in the previous lives, so these negative thoughts are coming back to us. So, just like I said before, just listen, see the thoughts, there's a thought, and then, let it go, let it pass away. It's not my thought, yeah? But, these negative thoughts are caused by karma, yeah? Everything, I mean, you can say 99.9% of the things that happen to us is caused by our karma, yeah? We have thought negatively, this karma will come back to us, yeah? The best thing is to accept it, but not to take it personally. And if it's the same thought, then investigate it, but after your meditation, not when you meditate, you replace the thought with Buddha or with the attention on the breath. That's it.
Whatever I am aware of cannot be me. Why is that the case?
Doesn't subject and object? Is subject and object the same thing? The subject is aware of the object. Is the subject the object? If he thinks the subject is the object, then he has a problem. I mean, in our language we do use the subject-object, yeah? And verb. That's a simple sentence, yeah? Okay? Next question.
Same person. How is the citta any different from consciousness?
I mean, the Lord Buddha stated very clearly, there are five khandhas or 5 groups, yeah? And the fifth group, in the 5 groups is consciousness. But he never said, that the citta is consciousness. The citta is completely different. Within the citta, these 5 khandhas arise and cease, yeah? But the citta is impermanent, yeah? While the 5 khandhas are permanent. They change, they constantly change. They are anicca, anatta, dukkha, yeah? They are anicca, they arise and cease, just like thoughts arise and cease. Consciousness also arises and ceases, huh? But it's so fast that he doesn't catch it. No, that's why he thinks, no, it's a citta. Yeah? No, lots of people get this misunderstanding that consciousness is citta. No, consciousness is consciousness. Consciousness is aware that something came into our sense contact. That's it. Then the memory tells us what it is. Huh? And the citta knows it before it even comes into sense contact. The citta is knowing consciousness, is aware of, what is coming into the senses. Huh? But he cannot go beyond the senses, consciousness. Why don't you understand? Why you always mix it up? Okay?
Same person's last question. Why do I have such a hard time concentrating in walking meditation, but less difficulty in sitting? I feel like the movement of the body gets me all wound up and restless, but when my body is still, it's easier to also experience stillness in the mind. When I practice walking meditation, I am often daydreaming. I have been trying to focus on the breath at the nose because it is most noticeable there when I walk.
And he can use, normally walking meditation is much, much easier, because if he walks so slowly, then of course, he goes into daydreaming. Walk fast. Yeah? I mean, that is the solution, walk fast. And the faster you walk, don't run. The faster you walk, the easier it is to concentrate the rest of the mind, because the citta has to the citta has to take care of the walking. Yeah. If part of the citta has to take care of the walking, we don't have to concentrate the whole citta. Yeah. And so that's why it is easier. Use Buddha, or use the breath. I mean, if he's still at this nose, I mean, I don't know what is, yeah. I mean, if he feels it, yeah. I mean, he can stay with the movement of the body, but he probably doesn't like walking meditation. That's why he gets irritated. Then he doesn't have to do it, but he has to change it. Sitting meditation, he easily probably, assume that he easily gets into a state of stillness, but that is not really still, where he's just comfortable, and then he goes to the feeling, and that's why he thinks it is much easier to concentrate. But if he develops sati about how is the breath at every second, a millisecond, of the time, then he will find it much more difficult to concentrate. Okay? That's the last question. You have any question? Any question from me? Fragen? Keine? Questions? No? Just work to do. Sati. Huh? So difficult, huh? Just to stay with the Buddha, not to go into our thoughts. And it is so tedious, when we sit there, and then the mind gets calm, and then we go with the feeling of the calmness, and then, it's so nice, and the calmness disappears because we are not with the Buddha anymore, That's not samadhi, that's not the training of samadhi. The samadhi is always on the object. We have the object, be it the Buddha, we have the object, be it the breath, and we are always with the breath. We always know how the breath is or how the Buddha is. That's how we can enter samadhi. The everything is a pre-samadhi, that's where most of the people are, pre-samadhi. It's so nice, They come out, it's so nice. And some people, when they train samadhi, they open door, it's so cool, and then they close the door in front of them, they don't enter the room, and then they open it, it's so nice, and then close it in front of them, and then open it again, it's so nice, and then when they come out of samadhi or when they stop the meditation, it was really great, but I'm so tired, Then you never entered the room, Because if you enter the room and come out of the room, you're full of power, you're full of energy. Understood, Carlos?
The last part.
Yeah.
The doors, that's...
You still have difficulty opening the door. Or it's like these revolving doors, You go in and revolve and go out again.
I will have to see, actually.
Okay, so go and practice.